Hello everyone, this is Mom Nerissabeatriz. Welcome to my channel, and if you're new, please subscribe and hit the bell button for you to get updated with the next videos. For this video, we shall be discussing about personal development module 4, which is the power triad in every situation. In this module, you will learn that in order to win life, you must manage well your thoughts, feelings, and actions in every situation. So if you want to learn more about this topic, please continue watching until the end. Personal Development, Quarter 1, Module 4, Power Triad in Every Situations. In Module 3, you learned that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are interrelated, and it is necessary to self-evaluate because your emotions can overwhelm your rational thinking and affect the way you behave around people. In this module, you will learn that in order to win in life, you must manage well your thoughts, feelings, and actions in everyday situation. So the learning objective in this module is that you should be able to show the connections between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in actual life situations. Okay, so before we proceed, as you journey in this module, bring with you these important terminologies and phrases for your better understanding and grasp of the lesson. So we have autopilot system or system 1. It is an automatic, fast, and unconscious way of thinking. It corresponds to your emotions and intuitions. We also have intentional system or the system 2. It is a slow, conscious, and effortful way of thinking that requires attention and energy. We also have fight or flight response. It is an automatic psychological reaction to an event that is perceived as stressful or frightening. And then we also have power triad. It refers to your thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Okay, so are you ready now with the pre-test, my dear students? Okay, so here it is. Direction, read carefully each statement. Identify if the person described in each item is a fighter or a flighter. Then write your responses in your journal. Number 1, you are walking down an alley when suddenly a man tries to steal your cell phone and run away. You run after him. In that case, are you a fighter or a flighter? And then number 2, you accidentally broke the chair in your classroom. You pretended nothing happened and walked away. Are you a fighter or a flighter? Number 3, your significant other brings up a topic that you disagree on. You make up an excuse and leave the room. Are you a fighter or a flighter? And then for number 4, your little brother ruined your favorite dress or shirt. You got upset but didn't say anything. Are you a fighter or a flighter? And then number 5, you have a big trip coming up and are feeling overwhelmed. You plan out every detail so you feel like you have control over the situation. Are you a fighter or a flighter? Life, as we know, is not about candles and rainbows. It is full of struggles too. Living life is like sailing in an ocean. Sometimes the journey is smooth and calm, but there are also days that the waves are high and rough. And for everything that we want to achieve, we can come up with a list of reasons why we cannot do it. Such as, I want to be a doctor, but my family is financially unstable to send me to med school. I want to visit my parents in Bicol, but I don't have the time. Then, I want to travel and enjoy the summer by the beach, but I don't have enough money. These are just some simple examples of a person's desire to do something that would make him happy, but is easily confronted with the reasons why he cannot do them. Even famous personalities like Manny Pacquiao, P. Alonso Wurtzbach, and Dr. Ross Zeta Kapiling have had common moments they wish they had more time, energy, and resources. It is our nature to have doubts and ask whether or not we have what it takes to succeed at something. So let's get to know more about Pia, Manny, and Dr. Ross by reading and analyzing their life stories. It's 1990 in the province of General Santos in the Philippines. Manny Pacquiao is 12 years old. Pacquiao often speaks of his debt to his maternal uncle, Sardo Mejia, who introduced him to boxing after he dropped out of school. It was this moment that would spark an unforeseen passion and drive in Pacquiao to be one of the best boxers in the entire world. According to his autobiography, he describes watching Mike Tyson's shocking defeat to James Buster Douglas in 1990 on television with his uncle as an experience that changed his life forever. In his hometown, he set up an open-for-all boxing match and beat every opponent who came. He was well on the road of transforming himself from a lunking school dropout to a junior boxing champion. Despite his success, his family was still living in extreme poverty and hunger. They became so desperate to the point that his father had to kill his pet dog for dinner. Pacquiao couldn't forgive his father for what he did, so he left home. He slept on cardboard boxes and sold bread on the streets just to make a meager living. At that point, he also used boxing and won for $2 each as a means of escaping poverty. He soon moved to Manila and continued winning several boxing matches, but given the increased standards of living, he wasn't making enough to survive. He soon got a job at a local gym doing gardening, cleaning, and construction while boxing on the side. He trained crazily all day and all night when possible, waking up the earliest and leaving the gym at the latest possible time. Early on, his perseverance and determination to be a part of the boxing world swayed him to cheat and add on some weights to meet the featherweight class requirements. As the fights got more serious, Pacquiao started getting more famous as well. He would beat fighters from South Korea, Japan, and Thailand, and at the very young age of 19, he won his first world champion title by beating Chatchai Sasakul, the reigning World Boxing Council World Flyweight Champion at that time. The turning point for Pacquiao came when he won against world-class featherweight boxer Marco Antonio Barrera at the Alamo in Texas with a TKO. After that fight, he was recognized internationally as a force to be reckoned with. Today, at 37, he is one of the most respected boxers. Despite his loss, during the Mayweather match, he still has won the hearts of many boxing fans both in the Philippines and worldwide. His one-of-a-kind story will continue to inspire, and it will always portray the journey of what millions of Filipinos continue to aspire for. So another success story is the story of Pia Wurtzbach. I know you knew her well. Pia Wurtzbach was crowned Miss Universe at the 64th Miss Universe 2015 pageant held at Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. She is an actress and model of German-Philippine origin. She is Miss Philippines 2015. She symbolizes the deadly combination of beauty with brains. Pia is a beauty writer, chef, and makeup artist. Pia Wurtzbach was born on September 24, 1989 at Germany. Her father is a German and her mother is a Filipino. She has a younger sister and she was named in keeping with the Philippine tradition. Her middle name Alonso is her mother's maiden name, and she took her secondary education from ABS-CBN Distance Learning School in Quezon City. She studied culinary arts from the Center of Asian Culinary Studies, San Juan, Metro Manila. Pia ventured in the world of glitz and glamour at the tender age of 14. She joined an acting and modeling agency for children, the Star Magic Talent. She got a break in television when she was featured in K2BU, a series for teenagers, the Romance Collection, Your Song, and the concert program ASAP. She writes for the 2BU column of Inquirer Lifestyle. She is popular as Pia Romero, her screen name. Pia also is a pageant title holder. Her first beauty contest was the Binibining Pilipinas 2013. She was the first runner-up. She participated also in the Binibining Pilipinas 2015 as a representative of Cagayan de Oro and won the title, paving way to bigger victories. P. Alonso walked away with the Miss Universe title as the Miss Universe pageant 2015 held on December 20 at the Axis, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. The 26-year-old beauty set the stage ablaze with her poise and incredible class and talent in her exotic, gorgeous ball gown and costumes. She was crowned by her predecessor, Paulina Vega. As Miss Universe, Pia aspires to lead the youth and to spread awareness about HIV, especially in Philippines. The third inspiring story is titled A Love Affair That Got Me Close to a Great Doctor. She is Dr. Rose Zeta Capiding. So her story starts as a blissfully married and a wife mother to three young men. My husband Leo knows that I am also engaged in another love affair, a sweet and enduring one, and he approves, so do my sons. This love affair is with research, and it started during my pediatric residency training. Still remember vividly the excitement and the long nights, the discovery of meaningful developments, the joy of reading medical journals, the eagerness to prepare something thorough and relevant. The excitement I felt continued up to my postgraduate internship, my fellowship in infectious diseases, and it has lasted until now. My husband was never jealous, and my relationship with my sons never soared despite this other ongoing and never-ending love affair. I could not ask for more. This is the best life. So last May 23, the family accompanied me to Vegan Ilocos Sur to attend the 170th annual convention hosted by the Philippine Medical Association, or PMA. Being included as one of the 15 finalists for the coveted Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial Awards is a proud moment for my family. With them around, I was the proudest wife, mom, and doctor. While individual citations were being read on stage for the top awardees for community leadership, government service, clinical practice, and academe, I never expected that the final citation was all about the fruits of my other love affair with research. Lead investigator for the much-awaited clinical trials on the multivalent dengue vaccine, repeatedly cited by researchers here and abroad, served as the springboard for the expanded program of immunization of the Department of Health, provided the evidence and the science, extended her work to the communities. Greater things to come that will benefit science, medicine, and Filipino people. Epitomizes the virtues of Dr. Jose P. Rizal, love of country and service to our countrymen. All this brought me back to the past 30 years of my medical, family, and community life. My love affair with research did not happen overnight. It was a journey that began with a case presentation as a first-year pediatric resident and a prospective study on how to prevent early jaundice in newborns. My recommendation that a nursery should always be facing the direction the sun rises so that a newborn can benefit from exposure to morning sunlight won the top prize for the hospital's annual research competition. This did not happen once. It was a back-to-back win for 3 straight years. I got hooked. Who would not be? Year 1991 was my first immersion in dengue research. 23 years later, I am now the lead investigator of the country's clinical basis or trials for dengue vaccine in the countries where dengue is a major public health problem. It's a vaccine that the medical community worldwide is waiting for. In vegan, the Philippine Medical Association bore witness to the conferment of the award. The title comes with a specially designed trophy in the image of Dr. Jose P. Rizal by national artist Napoleon Abueva, a gold medallion, free trip to the United States to attend the convention of the American Academy of Family Physicians, and 150,000 worth of medicines that I can share with a civic organization of my choice. Was it just a coincidence or pure fate that it is also the 23rd year of the presentation of the prestigious Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial Awards? If the number 23 is a coincidence, what a joyful one. If this is a destiny, let me accept it with gratitude. This award is a fitting tribute to those who have encouraged and inspired me to continue my love affair with research. Participants and their families, as well as my teams in clinical trials, officials of the local health, school and government units, the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, collaborators, partners, and sponsors of my researches, Basainon Katiguban Incorporated, and my townmates in Basay, Samar, who continue to show resiliency despite the tragedy during the super typhoon of Yolanda, the Philippine Pediatric Society, and Manila Medical Society for the recognition of my works and the nominations. For more than 3 decades, I have never felt happier and accomplished than when doing medical research. It is tiring but exciting, demanding yet humbling, intimidating but empowering, exacting yet fulfilling. My work is my loving tribute to a great Filipino and a fellow doctor, Jose P. Rizal. She is currently the head of the microbiology department of the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine and the head of the Dengue Research Group. She is the head section of the Infectious Diseases Department of Pediatrics, Asian Hospital and Medical Center. So that was the story of Dr. Rose Zeta Capiding. So she was fond of doing research. Her first love affair or her love affair was doing research. Okay, so I hope you were inspired by the 3 personalities presented. So we have Manny Pacquiao, P. Wurtzbach, and Dr. Zeta Capiding. Okay, so now write or answer the following questions. Number 1, among the mentioned personalities, to whom would you best compare yourself and why? Number 2, processing question, what lessons did you learn from the character that you have chosen? Okay, you're going to choose from among the 3. personalities I've presented earlier. And then number 3, how would you like your life story to be told? Okay, so Manny Pacquiao, P. Wurtzbach, and Dr. Zeta Kapiding are all great personalities that students like you should emulate because they are all manifestations of a real winner. Okay, are you a winner in life? Okay, so let's find out. So here are some of the characteristics of a real winner. Now, if you're a real winner, you should be able or you are able to win over his or her battles and difficulties in life and turns them into a learning and glorifying experience. Find meaning in pleasant and unpleasant events in his life. Live in peace with difficult people and difficult situations. Win the goodwill of others, their respect and admiration. Get what he wants using win-win strategies, never at the expense of others. Discover and use opportunities to his best advantage. Develop and use his talents and abilities to the best advantage, and in doing so, and making meaningful contribution in making this world a better place to live in. For activity 2, we have the story of the two wolves. Are you familiar with this? Okay, so let's have this one. So the following is an old Cherokee Indian story that is enlightening and helpful. So one evening, an old Cherokee told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside all of us. It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is angry, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, and the other one is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too." The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." Now, knowing which wolf to feed is the first step towards recognizing you have control over your own self. Have you ever had thoughts, feelings, or acted in ways that were unacceptable to yourself but felt powerless to control? The purpose of this story is to help you find ways to manage your mind so that you can love your life more in accordance with what your own judgment says is best for you. So here are 4 important concepts or ideas implied by the answer, the one you feed. The mind is not the unitary entity, it seems to us, but consists of different parts. Next, these parts of the mind or brain can interact and be in conflict with each other. The you has the ability to decide which wolf it will feed, and last, having made a choice, you can decide specifically how to feed. The story of the two wolves gives rise to a number of questions. Let us share our thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the following questions. By taking time to do this, you will learn to better manage your mind, feelings, and actions, and consciously feeding the good wolf in you. So again, you're going to write your responses in your journal. So number 1 question is, how aware are you of the two different opposing wolves operating within your mind? one of which leads to pain and a diminished sense of life, and the other to a joyous, meaningful, and fulfilling life. Number two, when was the time you feel disappointed by the choice of behavior because you knew that there was a more positive options but you just didn't choose it? Number three, what ways or techniques or exercises do you use to strengthen yourself so as to increase its potency to choose and hence control your life? And then number four, in what specific ways do you feed the negative wolf? And then number five, what specific ways do you use to feed the positive wolf? Remember, my dear students, that knowing which wolf to feed allows you to be mindful of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You, as a person, are bound to uphold the highest moral and ethical standards because everything you do will surely affect the people around you. Based on the cognitive triangle, what you think affects the way you feel and behave. What you feel affects the way you think and act, and your actions affect how you think and feel. Thus, it is necessary that you know how to manage your thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Okay, so let's now go to deepening, managing or manage your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The only things we can control in life are our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. If we can manage those, we can achieve our goals and gain success in life. To have this level of control, we need to learn about the science-based patterns behind our emotions and thoughts and how to manage them. If we know how our minds work, we can be intentional about influencing our thinking and feeling patterns. We can evaluate reality more clearly, make better decisions, and improve our ability to achieve our goals. Thus, we can gain greater agency and the quality of living intentionally. How do our minds work? Intuitively, our mind feels like a cohesive whole. We perceive ourselves as intentional and rational thinkers. Yet, cognitive science research shows that in reality, the intentional part of our mind is similar to a little rider on top of a huge elephant of emotion and intuitions. So roughly speaking, we have two thinking systems. Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for his research on behavioral economics, called them System 1 and System 2. But I think the terms autopilot system and intentional system describe them more clearly and intuitively. So the autopilot, as you can see there, corresponds to our emotions and intuitions. Its cognitive processes takes place mainly in the amygdala and the other parts of the brain that developed early in our evolution. So this system guides our daily habits, helps us make snap decisions, and react instantly to dangerous life and death situations. Through the breeze, fight or flight stress response. So while it helped us survive in the past, the fight or flight response is not a great fit for modern life. We have many small stresses that are not life-threatening, but the autopilot system treats them like tigers. This produces an unnecessary stressful everyday life experience that undermines our mental and physical well-being. Moreover, while the snap judgment resulting from intuitions and emotions might feel true because they are fast and powerful, they sometimes lead us into the wrong in systematic and predictable ways. Now, the intentional system reflects our rational thinking and centers around the prefrontal cortex. So if the autopilot system centers on the amygdala, the intentional system is on the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that evolved more recently. According to recent research, it developed as humans started to live within larger social groups. This thinking system helps us handle more complex mental activities such as managing individual and group relationships, logical reasoning, probabilistic thinking, and learning new information and patterns of thinking and behavior. So while the automatic system requires no conscious effort to function, the intentional system takes deep effort to turn on, and it is mentally tiring. Fortunately, with enough motivation and appropriate training, the intentional system can turn on in situations where the autopilot system is prone to make errors, especially costly ones. So here is a quick visual comparison of the two systems. So the autopilot system is like an elephant. It's by far the more powerful and predominant of the two systems. So our emotions can overwhelm our rational thinking. Moreover, our intuitions and habits determine the large majority of our lives, which we spend on autopilot mode. That's not a bad thing at all. It would be mentally exhausting to think intentionally about every action and decision. Now, the intentional system is like the elephant rider. It can guide the elephant deliberately to go in the direction that matches that of our actual goals. Certainly, the elephant part of the brain is huge and unwieldy. It is slow to turn and change, and it stampedes at threats. So that's it, the autopilot system and the intentional system. Okay, so for our wrap up, you will answer again the following questions. Number one, what concepts have you learned from this module? And number two, what have you discovered about yourself in relation to the module? Okay, so for our application, we have the personal recipe for success. So the direction is review the success stories of Manny Pacquiao, P. Alonso, and Dr. Rose Zeta Capiding. And what do you think was the recipe for the success of these well-featured individuals? Now, make your personal recipe for achieving personal goals. Identify your goal and break it down into a recipe with procedures. You can make recipes for academic success, for healthy personal relationships, or for the achievement of your personal goals or dreams. So this is how you will be graded. So you will be given 4 as excellent, 3 very satisfactory, 2 satisfactory, and 1 poor on the different indicators, just like the creativity, content, completeness, and personal reflection. Here is an example or examples of recipe for success. So it depends on you on how you're going to make your own recipe. Okay, so and it also depends on your goals or dreams in life. So you're going to make your ingredients and at the same time, the procedures on how you are going to mix your recipe or on how you are going to prepare your recipe for success. Okay, so at the back of your personal recipe for success, write your personal reflection about the question below. What is the role of your thoughts, feelings, and actions toward the achievement of your personal goals? Okay, so we are heading at the end of the discussion or of the lesson, but of course, we need to answer the post-test. We have set A and set B. So the direction is to read each statement carefully and identify which a system is predominant on each item. So you're going to write either autopilot system or intentional system in the space provided before each number. And again, you're going to answer this in your journal notebook. Okay? So we have number one, you feel unsafe while walking down the street, so you walked faster. And then number two, you slam on the brakes when the car in front of you suddenly stopped. Number three, during the pandemic of 2020, people wear masks every time they go out and they practice social distancing and proper hand washing. Number four, you have an upcoming examination in general mathematics and statistics. You stayed home and studied. And then number five, you jump out of the way of a moving vehicle. So take note that autopilot system is more on your emotion, okay, and intuition, while the intentional system is more on the conscious reasoning, mindful self. Okay. Okay, so let's now proceed to post-test set B, directions. Read each statement below carefully and draw a happy face on the line if you think a statement is true, and sad face if you think the statement is untruthful. So write your responses to the following questions in your journal. Number six, we must be aware and train our mind to avoid living on autopilot. Number seven, you have the power to control your own maladaptive thoughts, feelings, and actions. We also have number eight, intentional system is ideal for quick decisions based on little information. Then we also have number nine, system two is ideal for handling more complex mental activities such as logical reasoning, managing interpersonal relationships, learning new things, and building habits. And number 10, we have success is about right mindset, emotional resilience, and proper behavior. So for your assignment, my dear students, in preparation for the next module, have an advanced study about Havighurst's developmental task model because that will be our next lesson. So here are the development team of the module. Okay, so before I leave, I want to share this with you. So mindset shift of the day. Are you thinking on purpose or is your subconscious calling the shots? Just know you're making a choice. It's the difference between driver's seat versus passenger seat, empowered versus disempowered, inspired action versus excuses or resistance, determined versus defeatist, hopeful versus resigned, change versus stagnation, the life you want versus the life you have. So this could be a reflection for today. Okay, so congratulations, my dear students. We are now done with Module 4, the power triad in every situation. Tune in for Module 5. So I hope you learned a lot in our module. So we have, as a recap, we have the autopilot system and the intentional system. Okay, so the autopilot system is like an elephant. It's by far the more powerful and predominant of the two systems. But we can train the elephant. Your rider can be an elephant whisperer. So over time, you can use the intentional system to change your automatic thinking, feeling, and behavioral patterns. In this way, you will become a better agent in terms of taking charge of your life and reaching life goals. Okay, so that's again, ladies and gentlemen, module 4, the power triad in every situations. So this is Ma'am Beatriz, your personal development teacher. And please subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Please do keep in touch. And again, this is Ma'am Beatriz, your personal development teacher. And please subscribe, comment, like, and share the videos. Thank you.